The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoe Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
You have found the 2025 version of The Local Show, and we're so happy to be around in 2025, and happy that you're here too, because if you're here, then
Tom,
we are too.
We're here too. You know what? The Steve Adulation compliment line. We haven't given that number yet this year.
I was very happy that we had.
So I want to make sure, because I know how disappointed you would be if I didn't say 216-0273.
Yes.
Send us a text, questions, whatever you want, who you want to hear this year, who you want to hear less of. Well, maybe not. I don't know. So 216-0273. Make sure you talk about Tom and how wonderful he is.
Yeah, maybe somebody's got a dormant muscle car that they want to sell to Tom from the local show.
Just some old Mustang laying around in the garage.
Yeah. 67, 68 Mustang, 69 Camaro, whatever. Text Steve a picture.
Do you want a car you have to work on? Do you want one that's like done? You're a car guy.
Right, I am, but I'm also 60, so it's like it's not when I was 30 or even 20. So would I put in a radio? Yeah. Would I maybe change minor things? Yes, but I don't want to get into ripping down motors.
You're not pulling the engine or anything.
Putting in an axle or anything like that. No, I want it pretty much done so that I can roll into the Nationals and win an award.
That would be fun.
Yeah, it would be. Okay, coming up right now, we're going to talk with Ray Lowe. He's new to the show, and he's the owner of Hiwire Honeybees. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you guys this morning?
Ray is my middle name.
Oh, okay.
Thomas Ray.
Ray.
Yeah.
I have a brother, Thomas.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Is Ray short for anything, or is it just Raymond? Yeah, okay.
Raymond.
Yeah, my Ray is, I'm full Italian, so it was, and I don't want to butcher it, but my father told it to me once, but it's an Italian name, like Ragaguli.
Ray Guacamole or something.
Anyway, so you're into honeybees, you're part of Onondaga Grown.
Yes.
And explain, where is your farm?
I'm in Lafayette.
Okay.
The beekeeping part of it at my home, at my farm, is pretty small. My bees are spread out all over Lafayette and Pompey,
really? Okay.
Edro, Manlius.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's interesting how that has to be. Is it by design that you need to be in different areas?
Yes. Yeah. There's only so many flowers in each area.
Okay.
So we don't want to oversaturate it with bees. So we put them in different areas. And if one area happens to be a little low on flowers and maybe they're not making a lot of honey in one yard, they will be in another yard.
How do you determine that? The bee comes back and goes, hey, I didn't find anything. I mean, how does that work?
We kind of watch and see how much honey they are making in that location. And if they're making lots of honey, then we'll put more bees there. Mm-hmm. If they're not doing so well, maybe we'll not keep that yard. Maybe we'll move the bees someplace else.
Okay. How many hives do you have?
I can't tell you the exact number. It's around 160, 170.
Now that sounds, to a layman, that sounds like a lot. Is that a lot?
Well, we make around 8,000 pounds of honey a year.
That sounds like a lot. But I don't know what 8,000 pounds looks like. Give me some references.
A 5-gallon pail is 60 pounds.
Okay.
So
that's a lot.
So that's almost 150 5-gallon buckets.
Now, I know there's different types of honey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from the different types of flowers. Yep. And there's a lighter honey and a darker honey.
Yep.
What kind of honeys do you have?
So in the spring, the early honey tends to be light, and it tends to have a lighter flavor. Basswood, locust, anything that's flowering early in the spring. And then normally as the summer goes on, the honey becomes darker and it becomes stronger flavored. And in the fall, we get a couple that come along, buckwheat and bamboo are almost black, like motor oil.
Wow.
Okay, so what kind of bee is in the little bear that we are accustomed as a kid? You know, the little bear.
The honey? You mean what kind of honey?
Yeah, I mean, is there like a standard?
No, it's whatever honey we have that we fill it with.
I see a lot of clover honey, right?
Yeah, I mean,
is that just generic?
We call it a particular flower, whether it's clover or basswood, it's whatever. That means we collected it that time of year, and it probably has a predominantly clover or basswood flavor. But of course, it wouldn't be 100% clover.
Right. Are there different honeys from the different flowers that have better or worse health benefits? More or less sugar?
The sugar amount is going to be about the same. The flavor is going to be different. There is a thought that darker honeys have more antioxidants.
Okay.
Maybe
you don't know.
I don't.
It's not a scientific thing. It's just
I think it's a scientific thing. Okay. I don't.
I love the fact you don't know. You're a honey guy. You make good tasting honey. That's
the bottom line. We make honey, and whatever comes out in the end. A lot of times at the market, we're at the regional market every week, and my customers will say, "Well, geez, I bought this honey last week, and I really liked it, but I don't see anything that color on your table." I picked up a different bucket to fill this week to use. It was darker, it's lighter, it's a different flavor. So every bottle's going to have a little different flavor.
Okay, I'm probably the only one that's ever had this happen. You put the honey up on the shelf and you go to get it, and it's like hard as a rock. So talk to me.
I happen to know why, but I'm going to have him tell
you. know why? Okay,
so it happens every single week. Somebody tells me it crystallized, so I threw it away. Honey.
I don't throw it away, but good.
Good honey naturally crystallizes. The fake stuff doesn't crystallize.
That's right.
So mine crystallizes in a 5-gallon bucket. I warm it up to about 104 degrees. That'll melt it back to liquid. Then I can fill bottles. So we fill bottles all year long.
Is there a right or a wrong way to warm it? Because I had it. I popped it in the microwave, right or wrong, for like a minute, and it.
You're better putting it in the water.
Okay, the YouTube listeners are seeing faces being made at me right now, but go ahead. So that's okay.
We want to keep it at, and there's a lot of discrepancy out there about the number, but it's around 104 degrees. And that's not hot. That's
you could put your finger in that.
A hot day could be 104.
Yeah.
Right. So heat it up to get it back to
liquid.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how long before? What makes it crystallize? The humidity, or is it the way I'm storing
it? It has
everything?
to do with the types of sugar that are naturally in it.
Sure.
I'm probably going to get this wrong, but more glucose, less sucrose.
Yeah.
And it will crystallize quicker.
Right.
So fall honeys, a lot of times, fall honeys crystallize before the spring honeys do.
Wow. Yeah, my buddy Bob, the beekeeper that I know, he told me that in Europe they accept the fact that it crystallizes and they'll use it while it's crystallized.
Okay.
United States is the only one who's kind of conditioned to see the liquidy stuff.
We do have some customers that prefer it crystallized, and we sell it crystallized also.
So Ray, listeners have one question burning in their soul right now.
Yeah.
And when I say this, it's scaring Tom, so I can't make eye contact. How many times have you been stung? Let's be honest.
Today? I have days when I can go through 50 hives and not get stung. I have days when I get stung 20 times on the first hive.
Really? Even when you're wearing the garb?
Yeah. I mean, it's harder for them to sting through heavy jeans, but they do. They manage.
And why do they sting?
It can be various reasons. They don't tell me, but sometimes it can be too dark, too cold, maybe their hive is not happy.
So are these all females?
They are all females.
Just a point there. I don't know. Maybe that was just you're not quite sure what makes them mad. Is this what you're telling me?
Yeah.
So I appreciate being here, Ray. Hiwire Honeybees. You're on Facebook.
Yes.
And if someone wants to call and have a sweet conversation, they can call 395-8473.
Yes, sir.
395-8473. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure, Ray.
Yes.